Hey, what's going on, guys? Dan Watson, Learning Cameras, and I hope you enjoyed those time lapses. I've been trying to shoot a lot more of them lately. In fact, I just did a video, which, especially if you're a beginner, you might want to check it out, on the 3 ways that I kind of shoot time lapses and integrate them into my workflow. There's different times and reasons that I might choose a different method of shooting a time lapse, and so that kind of video shows you the best ways of doing that, especially if you're going to integrate it into something like a vlog or some other kind of video. I want to talk about the A7R III and time lapses because it is potentially such an amazing camera for time lapses because it's mirrorless. So you have all the advantages of mirrorless, which is, you know, a great live view screen or the viewfinder for being able to do that, fully silent modes, autofocus system in both, that's great. And I mean, just incredible dynamic range and detail from the 42 megapixel sensor. So many things to love about the A7R III for time lapses. However, Sony has pulled any ability to shoot time lapses in cameras, no intervalometer or anything built into that camera, which makes it one of the few cameras right now that you can buy, especially any new camera. I almost don't know of anything good that's going to remove that feature for you. Now, the A7R II had it. It had it through a Play Memories app store that's kind of built into the camera, and I have to say I hated the functionality of it. Plus, it was a $10 cost in order to be able to purchase it. You had to sign on to some system inside the camera and passwords and Wi-Fi hooked up, and it was a mess. However, at least we had it. At least the availability was there if you wanted to have it. Well, that entire ability has been removed from this camera, which I'm not sad about at all. However, features like time lapses with intervalometers should have been implemented into the camera itself. Every other camera has this around. You should be able to set up the intervalometer, choose your times. It should give you some intelligent results as well, being able to show you like how long the time lapse will take. If you shot 24 or 150 images, how long at 24p is that going to be? Some intelligent tools to help us with time lapse as well in there. And then after we take those images, the ability to combine them all into a 4K video file inside the camera. There is no excuse for that not being there. It's in virtually every camera. So for now, this is a tool that you need in order to be able to use this functionality on the A7R III. You have to carry this around. It works well. The problem is, you know, I don't always have this with me. There was a time I wanted to shoot a time lapse and I did not have this in my bag, and so I was unable to do this. I was in Sedona, Arizona. Everything you turn around to is like this incredible, unbelievable view. I mean, there was just no way to escape time-lapse dreams. I mean, anybody who's shot time-lapses before is going to just look around and be like, oh man, there's clouds going over mountains and sunsets peeking over. It was just unbelievable. And there were a couple times that I had great opportunities that were missed because I didn't have this. And so I was limited to the times and places that I had the availability to shoot a time-lapse because I had this in my bag. It's just not fun. There's no excuse for it. This is a camera that we should have a time-lapse feature on it. The A9 also does not have it. I really didn't care as much. I don't think that the A9 with, you know, only a 24 megapixel camera, not as good as the A7R II in some ways with dynamic range and detail. And so for that to be missing it was not as big of a deal for me. But playing with this camera, the potential of shooting time lapses on it, compared to something like the Nikon D850 or something like that, which is also an epic time-lapse camera, there was just no excuse. It should have it. Sony, you gotta implement this right now. This is a firmware update thing. This is the first thing that you guys should be working on getting that in there. It is no excuse. This is a top-end camera. You gotta get us some way of doing this, either through the Play Memory store or through an update and adding a menu system with the intervalometer. Whichever one you gotta do is fine by me. I actually didn't like the Sony Play Memories app anyway, so I'm not concerned about that, but we gotta get this functionality. Other things that are missing are like built-in panoramas and all of that other stuff that you got through that store. This is stuff that should be in your cameras. I was able to pull off some unbelievable time lapses. I hope you guys enjoyed them. But this is just something I had to rant about and make sure that you know if you're going to be buying this camera, while everything else is so cool about it, if you want to be able to shoot a time lapse, this is what you're going to need in your bag at all times. And I really think that that's kind of limiting the functionality of the camera. So that's it. Sorry about the rant, but I had to say it. Stay tuned. The full hands-on with this camera is coming up. I'm going to have links for all of that all over the place. I'll throw a link for this in the description below as well. And for the camera, it is going on sale now. Just about as this video is posting, they are shipping out all over the world. And so you're going to be able to get yours really, really soon. Check out this camera and all the things to come. Stay tuned, a whole lot more.